So one of the things that we learned when working with voice interfaces is that they work exceptionally well when they provide hands-free experience and when they are complementary to other experiences like mobile, web, or desktop. And the thing that we went further to explore during Talk to Me Berlin was if we could fit voice experience and hands-free experience into video games. And we decided to play around with StarCraft.
We are Upside. My name is Kasia, and here is Rafa. And we decided to integrate StarCraft with Alexa. We decided to create a virtual assistant, ally, that you can control over Alexa. We named her Captain Kate Blackwater, and we let her introduce herself. Computer, open Captain.
Here's Capital from Global Player.
Again. Computer, open Captain.
Welcome, Marshal. My name is Kate Blackwater, and I was assigned to work alongside with you. I am here to help you command your army. You can tell me to manage soldiers and workers or ask me about battlefield status.
So this is Captain Kate Blackwater. She's an army professional and she's your virtual ally when it comes to gaming. So what we've noticed is that when gamers are playing strategy games, they have got so many things to take into account. They have got army to control, resources, attacking, and the enemy to battle. So we decided to create Captain, someone who is always by your side when you're playing the game, to help you with very, very simple tasks that can drag your attention from the actual game. So we've enabled players to focus on the strategy and creating next move in the game when we transfer all of this simple task to the captain to execute. And Rafa will tell you more about what it actually does.
So when you're playing strategy games, you're very often managing multiple things. Like for example, here we have our base, which is where we create our troops, which is where we gather resources, and that's like our command center of the whole operation. And on the other hand, we have our troops spread across the map. For example, over here are 2 soldiers who are going to attack the enemy base, which is probably located somewhere around here. You can see them over here. Now what's happening is very often as a player you attack your enemy, and at the same time you still have to manage what's happening in your base. Like you're attacking the enemy, you're focusing on combat, and you still have to create more army just not to lose the game. So what we decided to do was to let players manage their base using their voice so that they can still focus on the gameplay on the battlefield. So for example, I can say, computer, tell Captain to send 5 more soldiers.
Sending help.
And what's happening is, as a player, I can still focus on the battlefield, but at the same time, my captain, Kate Blackwater, started training more units for me, and those troops are going to join the battlefield, which is a great help, especially when you're like all in action. Another thing that we decided to help players with is evacuating their units. So in this game there are troops which are meant for fighting, and there are also workers who gather resources, build structures, etc. So the thing is that sometimes we may notice that enemy starts attacking us, and we may have those vulnerable workers somewhere around the map. So another thing that Kate Blackwater can do for us is help us evacuate those guys to our base where they're safe. So I can say, computer, tell Captain to evacuate everyone.
Affirmative.
And what we're seeing is those guys are escaping the enemy. So they're no longer in danger. Another thing that we can do is ask simple questions about the status of the game. So Kate is going to provide us with more details on what's happening in our base, even when we're focusing on things outside of the base. So I can say, computer, ask Captain what's the status.
12. SCVs are waiting for your commands.
So now I know that there are workers who are not doing any work, and that I should come over there and assign them with tasks. And that's about it.
So when it comes to the entire person of Captain Kate Blackwater, the really important thing for us was to create someone who players can relate to, someone who has personality, someone who is very professional, strict, and can easily fit the entire army environment. So Captain Kate Blackwater is not using the default voice of the device, but is using a voice that we selected especially to fit the personality. We've spent a lot of time actually figuring out how the person might speak, what she should sound like, and what are the phrases and entire communication that fits the entire universe of the StarCraft. And what is really important in that game is that we tried to focus on the gamers and adding additional things that it can help them with the game. So we wanted to add value for the players. So we took entire bucket of very simple tasks to create a space for them to focus on what really matters in the game. What is more importantly is that we created a social layer. So you're not playing alone anymore, but you always have your captain, even though she's virtual, but still she's there to help.
And just like in an army, you can give commands to your subordinates, which most of strategy games so far were lacking. Right now, you can not only assign tasks to certain units, you can also delegate your work to others.
The most important thing we've learned is how important creating persona and personality behind the skill is. We created Captain Kate Blackwater and we decided to fit her into the army environment, give her personality, make her very professional, very strict, and also give her a voice.
And what's my biggest takeaway is that building voice user interfaces is not only about the features and the convenience they provide to their users, but also about the persona, the person that's talking to the user.